We begin with the COVID-19 impact on both sides of the state line. I'm Laura Moritz.
And I'm Kelly Eckerman. Missouri is experiencing one of the biggest surge in cases in the U.S. 12% of tests are coming back positive right now. That's 4 times higher than the national average. In Kansas, 3.1% of tests are positive. That is also higher than the national average.
We have team coverage on the rise in cases. Emily Hallwick tells us why the Delta variant is so threatening for children in Kansas.
But first, Michael Mahoney is going to explain why the Missouri governor is clashing with the White House on the best way to keep people safe. And he's live now in Kansas City. Michael?
Well, you're right. The White House, the governor, and the Delta outbreak are certainly drawing the attention of the White House today. Governor Parson was in Kansas City, North Kansas City to be specific today, taking a look at a barbecue restaurant, as well as signing ceremonially a new law in Missouri that would protect some businesses from some COVID lawsuits. Now, the governor says he doesn't know any of the details about any door-to-door effort, and he objects to any federal workers doing it. The White House, however, says it is trusted local messengers, their words, who would do that.
And what we got to do is do a better job of making sure people understand the importance of the vaccine. But I don't think trying to force people to take a vaccine is going to work. I don't, not in this state.
I will say the thing that is a bit frustrating to us is that when people are critical of these tactics, it's really a disservice to the country and to the doctors, faith leaders, community leaders, and others who are working to get people vaccinated. This is about saving lives and ending this pandemic.
Now, Parson says the state is spending $5 million now already trying to convince people who don't have a shot to get one. He also says that they're going to continue to work on that. And he also stresses the fact that the state does not believe any hospitals in Missouri have any sort of ventilator shortage, and no one has asked the state for extra ventilators, as Missouri, the governor, and the Delta COVID outbreak now have the attention of the White House. Michael Mahoney, KMBC 9 News.
Now, we have mentioned that rising number of cases in southwest Missouri. This is a tweet from the fire chief in Springfield. David Pennington says this is a mass casualty event happening in slow motion. EMS resources are depleted. Hospital systems are overwhelmed. Our community is in crisis.
In Kansas, the Delta variant is now the dominant strain in Johnson County. KMBC 9's Emily Hallwick is live at the health department with the growing threat for children.
Well, the lead epidemiologist here says that there have now been 70 confirmed cases of the Delta variant in Johnson County, Kansas. They say some of those cases are in children who are too young to be vaccinated. It's causing concern for health leaders and parents. Johnson County, Kansas has the highest vaccination rate in the KC Metro, but part of the population still isn't eligible.
Under 12 are still not able to be vaccinated.
As the Delta variant brings another wave of infections, children are left vulnerable.
So we're seeing a lot of outbreaks or clusters of cases in our summer camps, some sleepaway camps, some day camps. We've had a couple in daycare centers.
Johnson County's Director of Epidemiology, Elizabeth Holschuh, says some of those cases are serious, with some even admitted at Children's Mercy.
As of last week, they had several kids who were hospitalized with acute infection, so during that initial illness.
She has these recommendations for parents.
Masking really is the best way to prevent transmission still at this point. So if you're getting together with friends or people outside of your sort of normal circle, have the kids hang out outside, and the likelihood that they'll get infected is much less out there.
Holschuh says the Delta variant could be an even bigger concern as the school year approaches.
The most recent data is saying that for every one person infected, they can infect 7 people. And so when you start doing that, transmission after transmission, that gets very big very quickly.
Holschuh says that the Delta variant has caused around 150 to 175 breakthrough cases here in Johnson County in people who have been vaccinated, but she says it's still a relatively small number. It's about 0.1% of the 250,000 people here in Johnson County who have the vaccine. Reporting live in Johnson County, Kansas, Emily Hallwick, KMBC 9 News.
Health officials say even with breakthrough cases, the vaccine still protects people from severe illness.
Here are some of the other COVID-19 headlines. The director of the CDC says 99.5% of COVID deaths were unvaccinated people. She says those deaths were preventable with a simple, safe shot. Missouri is reporting 39.4% of its population is fully vaccinated. In Kansas, it's 42.3%. Kansas health officials are investigating an outbreak of cases at a church camp in Butler County. 23 cases from AGK Ministries camp have been reported this summer, and anyone who attended the camp is being told to get tested.